everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Gold Rush, Part 4 of our Weird West 4th Edition campaign. Today is March 11th, 2024, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folks, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of all of our merch currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders, which, you know, is always a good cause to support, especially now. That being said, again, that is Indoor Adventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Well, yippee-ki-yay, my name is RJ, and today I'll be playing Kid, the Genasi Sword Mage. We both go by he, him.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. I go second, and I'm going to be playing Trisannas. She is a seeker, Wilden seeker. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Cyber. I use he or whatever pronouns. I play Rakel. Rakel uses she, her pronouns. She is a human shaman.
And
That's me.
I'm the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing is Carruthers Edelweiss, Human Ranger. We both use he, him pronouns.
And hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, she, her. I am the DM tonight, and I am ready with the recap. It's been a couple of weeks, so let's get right into it. Last time, the posse found out that the town of Glimmer had a dress code, so they all gussied themselves up before heading in. Glimmer turns out to be a boomtown. There's a lot more gold in the economy than expected, and there's some prodigious growth in the recent years. Rakel went to town hall to try and attune to some of the spirits in town, but found them eerily silent. Rakel revealed to Triss that she's looking for a member of her tribe named Majni, who went missing after traveling to Glimmer. Kid and Ruth made an effort to pass on mail that they'd received in happenstance, but many of the recipients couldn't be found. Everywhere they went, people kept on asking them the same thing. Y'all here or just passing through? Y'all here to stay or just passing through? Triss was flagged down by a photographer named Jedediah Snaps, who claimed to take portraits of everyone who came into Glimmer. She politely declined a photograph, but reluctantly sat for a pencil drawing. Triss pressed him for information about the missing folks, but instead of answering her questions, he asked her to meet him after hours. Kid and Ruth met Deputy Lefty, a friendly porcelain genasi with a golden left hand. She mentioned that Ms. Sissy is on vacation and should be back any day now. The posse split up to find more information. Kid and Rakel going to the String of Pearls Cabaret, and Triss and Ruth to the graveyard. Triss managed to lift the bindings over the dead and communicate with them briefly, discovering that no one in the graveyard was buried after Ms. Sissy's return, and that there was a girl who was sweet on Ms. Sissy back in the day. Meanwhile, chaos erupted at the cabaret as Kid sabotaged the latrine and Rakel's spirit companion confronted a man who was spying on the two of them. The spy escaped, but Rakel was able to recover his notes. Kid rescued a saloon girl and found that there was gold in her veins, but it wasn't being controlled by her. Rakel and her spirit nearly left town, but when But then they were interrupted by an explosion at the graveyard. As it turned out, Jedediah Snaps lay dead at the graveyard gate with a detonated camera.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
A man
Listen,
is
we
dead.
started off the description by saying it was Boomtown.
That man there did a Keebler elf. He snapped, crackled, and popped.
Oh my god.
Oh,
We are in
Aw.
fine form tonight. This is incredible.
fucking Cyber jumping on all of the puns that I should have seen coming. All right. So, there was an explosion at the graveyard. Ruth and Triss cautiously approaching the source of said explosion, only to find Jed Snaps laying dead amongst the smoldering remains of his portfolio, as well as a detonated camera.
I believe as people started approaching from the sound, Triss said, "Get back! There's been a terrible accident."
All right. Anything the two of you want to try and do before too much attention is gathered? Are you gonna stick around, or what's your move? What's the reaction?
I think Ruth, I don't think his first reaction would be to leave the scene. Jedediah is like, he's dead. He's 100% doornails at this point, right?
Yeah, dead as a doornail.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think what Ruth would want to do is like a quick forensic, like, was it the camera that did him in, or did something, like, was there is there another source where a case of mortal trauma may have occurred?
I see. Well, I believe what you wanted to roll last time was heal.
Yes.
So, yeah, go for it.
Wanted to do healing. 27.
27. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, I think that you're absolutely certain that it was the camera that killed him.
Okay.
The fatal wound is in the face area, and the fatal wound is via explosion. Like, you would in your professional medical opinion, the cause of death is explosion to the face.
That's it's a pretty common one.
Have I rocked up yet?
I would say that you're probably closer than Rakel, so it makes sense to me that you would arrive fairly swiftly. Though you would probably arrive at about the same time as
The people.
Lefty. Yeah.
What in tarnation?
Oh, I was afraid this would happen.
Well, he was testing some sort of new powder, he said, but I'm not certain why he was here.
Well, Lefty walking up, sort of like rubbing the back of her head, looking awful apologetic about the whole situation. Yeah, well, I heard that he was testing some new powder tonight. Something for being able to take photos at night, in the dark.
It's all witchcraft to me.
Lefty's the sheriff, right?
No.
Yes.
Oh, Lefty is.
Well,
yeah. Ish.
yeah.
Deputy or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Deputy Lefty, the sheriff.
What is your job title?
Well, I think I have
Because Sissy's the mayor.
Yeah, I think I've previously described her as sheriff, and also have referred to her as Deputy Lefty. I think that it's kind of a transitionary period, because I think she started off as deputy, and like the mayor has, like, Missy has become the mayor since. So like it's kind of one of those things where it's like it's in transition.
I like the idea that the townsfolk call her deputy because it's affectionate. But Kid is going to just look over to Lefty. I'm gonna go check if the Padre has a tarp to cover this so the townsfolk don't Oh no, here they come.
You wouldn't mind telling folks to back off a little bit there. Sorry, I don't mean to put y'all to work here. This is my responsibility. I could handle it.
Nah, happy to help.
I
Kid'll
work
turn
with the
and
dead all the time. This is fine.
jog down the
D-
path towards the people. Nothing to see here. Keep on moving. We will report to you later.
Ruth?
Lefty takes a knee and starts gathering up the photos that have scattered about.
Ruth wants to ask Triss very quietly, very discreetly before they start like blockading townsfolk, or at least seeing that kid has already started. You can see the dead, right?
Of course.
Where's he? And he'll point to Jedediah Snaps. Because if the corpse is like, if there's a ghost that's supposed to be near his body when he dies, like,
Yeah. Is his spirit lingering? Is it close? Do I see it?
Have we made you make have we had you do a roll in the past for tracking down tricky spirits?
No, but I haven't tried to track down a tricky spirit yet. I usually just see what's there. If there is
Well,
anything. So
yeah, let me double check what skills we have access to.
I think we've done nature for the most part, or if this is like more like an arcana thing.
I would take, excuse me, I would take religion, nature, or arcana.
Okay, nature it is. Whoop. So 25.
25. That's pretty good. It seems that he is beholden to the same laws as the rest of the dead in this town. Though perhaps you would be able to. Okay. I didn't mention this in the recap. There was a fella that you had spoken to previously, right?
Yeah.
One of the dead.
Yeah.
And he gave you an artifact that was precious to him in his life.
Yeah.
It could be that if you find something of his, you could use it as a fulcrum to more easily contact him.
Yeah.
If
I mean,
that
can I just
if that is something that you want to do.
Yeah, could I just take something off of his body?
Sure. What would you like to take?
I will take a quick snip of hair from his head.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Did I get the name of the town historian that I talked to? I don't think I did.
No, I don't think we named them.
All right.
That's a good do we want to name them?
It's
Maybe
up to
later.
you. Yeah, later.
Maybe later. Maybe later. You didn't get him. You didn't get it yet. Yeah. I was like, oh no, I didn't name him.
Don't worry, you don't have to now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll take a snippet of hair and attempt to channel him.
Okay, right here, right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, nobody else can see him, right?
The
Sure.
ghost or the body? Because we could definitely see the body.
The ghost. I'll just pretend I'm talking to Ruth.
Sure. Give me a nature check with a +2.
32.
Okay. You are able to contact him.
Okay.
However, he does not make himself physically visible.
Okay. She turns to Ruth and says, "Honey, I'm not talking to you right now, but just pretend like I am."
Oh, it happens all the time.
Right. Mr. Jedediah, I know you're there. Would you mind having a word with me? I'm sure this is all very confusing for you right at the moment, but it is quite pressing.
He's sort of blustering and concerned. what happened? Did I fall down? I don't understand. It's dark.
Well, I'm sorry to be the one to have to tell you, but you have passed on. There was an accident with your camera, and it seems to have exploded in your face.
Are you saying this out loud to Ruth?
Yes.
And Ruth is over there being like, I'm more of a beans man myself. Like he's
Okay.
because in order to fake a conversation, it has to be two ways. So whenever she says anything of like you're dead, all of this, he's just like, well, all you gotta do is if you can get yourself a nice thinly sliced piece of cheese on a thick slice of toast. Like he's just talking food. He's talking food, and just going through old checklists, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're saying this quietly so as not to, like,
Right.
so that
yeah.
so hopefully nobody else can hear your conversation.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yes, I'm very sorry.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all.
Oh, why?
No, you can't be talking to me. If I'm dead and you're talking to me, you're putting yourself in grave danger.
Well, it seems the danger has been yours for the evening, but why don't you speak quickly and then we can, I won't need to talk to you anymore. Why am I in danger?
As you ask that, a shadow sort of falls over you, and Lefty is approaching the two of you.
Stone ground mustard. That's what you want to use.
with sort of an apologetic look on her face, and she says, "I'm terribly sorry that this accident happened while y'all were here. I sure to have colored your visit in a terrible way. But would you mind answering a few questions?"
Yeah, of course.
All right. First one. And she sort of like reaches into the destroyed camera, and she pulls out a Polaroid, and she holds it up to you, and it is an image of Ruth, standing across the graveyard, sort of looking away, and it's it's a little bit blurry, but it's pretty clearly Ruth. And she holds it up to you guys and says, "This you?
Yes, ma'am.
You
Yeah.
have any idea why he was taking pictures of you?"
That I can't answer, but as far as to why we were here, I'm just trying to find undeliverable letters.
And I'm used to being around the dead, so I quite enjoy being in a cemetery at night. I accompanying Ruth on this endeavor.
Trisannas, you would notice that Jed Snaps has made himself scarce.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, we don't have much more information than that. We heard the explosion and didn't see much before or after that besides walking up here.
Oh, it's a terrible shame. I was worried something like this would happen eventually. He's always tinkering about with this, that, and the other thing. Getting into all sorts of dangerous, volatile components.
Oh,
Yes.
Deputy Lefty? Do you know if
That's
this
me.
man had any family?
You know, I reckon he did. But they ain't living in town anymore. I
East,
could run
west,
down
north,
to
or
the
south?
west. Hey, if y'all are heading out soon anyhow, would you mind taking word to them on his unfortunate passing?
Of course.
If you give me an official letterhead, I'll take it anywhere.
All right. Well, I probably ought to get this all processed. If you guys have anything else to say, you can find me at my office over in Town Hall. You know what? I think that there's a train leaving tonight around midnight. I could pull some strings and get you some tickets.
Oh, well, we need to talk to our companions about our travel plans. Besides, we've been really at it for most of the day. We might want to just find a place at the end. I believe we already procured rooms. Isn't that true?
That's correct. At least
And
for the
Ruth
night.
could use a nice shower.
Well, once again, sorry about all this. You know where to find me. And thanks for all your help.
Sheriff, one more thing. What was his name?
This is Jed Snaps. Everybody knows Jed Snaps.
Haven't met him. But thank you.
That's a shame. As I recall, he tried to meet everybody who came into town.
Well, maybe that's what he was doing here, just trying to meet you, Ruth.
I suppose. Ruth shrugs.
I hate to be a bother, and I hope that this doesn't cross any lines, but I don't know about y'all's beliefs and things of the such, but I find what Jedediah, as far as photography goes, I believe it is, well, it can be used to capture souls, and I would just feel terrible knowing that there is a photo of Ruthie out there that, would you mind if I took it and destroyed it? I know it's, I mean, I don't know about evidence, but...
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. That's not a thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Diplomacy.
Yeah, it's diplomacy.
I was like, perception. There's
yeah,
only one P.
Persona.
See, now you guys know why early on when we were playing 5th edition, I kept on getting persuasion and perception mixed up.
It's a 9.
A 9. Terribly sorry. But it is evidence. In fact, I think I'm gonna have to take all of this. She, like, you know, sort of gestures to the photos scattered on the ground. After I get it all written down and, like, recorded back at town hall, we could probably talk about it later, but you know, for now I think there's a statute of limitations or something.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a person of the law. I mean, a lawman, if you know what I'm saying.
Deputy Lefty doesn't seem to be the sharpest knife in the drawer. She looks a little bit confused, but her heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
She starts gathering everything up, and you know, once again, very apologetic for the whole thing, and lets you know where to find her.
Okay, well, Rakel and Kid can join us again, but I think Triss is going to step off and see if she can contact Jedediah if he's just kind of walked off, sort of thing.
Rakel, at this point, pretty rapidly, at this point, you would be able to. I actually, I don't know where you were going. Like, when we last saw you, you had just heard the explosion. Would you be coming back towards the graveyard?
I would be coming back toward the explosion, but you know, whenever I think that I'm getting pretty close to it, I would be dismissing Morbek and just sort of trying to get close enough to see what was going on and see if, you know, there's a situation happening or...
Okay. Give me, and are you trying not to be seen, observed?
Yeah.
Give me a stealth or a streetwise to blend in with the crowd.
I'm great at both of these.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1. That's a 3.
Everyone seems to recognize you as the new person. They all kind of like step away from you, like in sort of a like, oh my gosh, it's those people's friend. Like we better get them to the front where they need to be.
Okay. Uh, are they? Oh, oh no, now I'm worried. Move, move, please. G- Get out. And she'll keep trying to make her just
Yeah.
force her
Yeah.
way forward.
Oh, the
Until she
crowd,
sees
like,
everybody else.
the crowd parts like the Red Sea before Moses. Like you are brought to the front with a quickness.
Okay, so neither of y'all are dead.
I didn't do it.
Use a cameraman.
Blew himself up.
Ruth just nods like, yeah, there's nothing else to that story.
Is there anything else that we need to do here?
How about that?
Is a question better suited for Miss Triss. Because
Everyone turns their heads.
Hello. Hello.
Looking.
Ruth will like bring Rakel close, and try and say so as the crowd does not hear. Mistress has discovered that there haven't been new spirits in this place in the last 6 years. Now, I don't know much of what your deal is, to be fair, but that looks spirit enough, and he'll motion towards the giant spirit wolf.
He's
Not there?
here.
Okay.
He's not here. I don't see people who've crossed the veil. I see archetypes.
I don't know what that means precisely.
Capital
think-
S spirits, lowercase s spirits.
I think Miss Raquel is trying to say that while Miss Triss sees the dead, Raquel sees spirits of the land.
Oh, okay. I get you. I follow.
Right? I'm not barking up the wrong tree, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it in common.
Phrase it in Dwarven. I'm a keen listener.
I don't know Dwarven.
Well,
Primordial.
I do. And she'll say a few phrases in Primordial, basically. She did. Like her companion isn't a single wolf crossed with an elk. It is the relationship between predator and prey.
She sees aspects. So the wolf being predator, the deer being prey, and they kind of fuse. It doesn't translate well from Primordial, actually.
I'm just gonna say that Raquel can do things I can't even imagine. And you know what? I bet you're doing well.
I will say, I also I can't find any, and she'll say another word in Primordial that basically translates to substance. I can't find any of that here. There's no spirit here.
It is concerning.
And typically there is some form of spirit in like everything, correct?
Yeah.
Huh. Hate that. Has Lefty and the people gone?
Lefty kind of has to like cordon off the area where the incident happened.
Can we be talking in our own little party away from the group?
Yes, yeah.
So, something weird's going on in town. One of the cabaret girls is, she's got law in her, not her own. Yeah, it's gross.
Yuck.
I tried to give her money to get her loan squared away, but she refused it.
Hey, kid.
Yeah.
I have an awful idea, and I'd like to run it by you.
Well, thank you for being forthcoming with your awful ideas. Conversation is the one way we get to understand each other.
Now, it seems to reason, and he looks in the direction of where Jedediah Snaps was, that there may be an opening in the real estate market? Is that what you call it?
Not much of a market if somebody has
photography store here in Glimmer.
No.
It would give us a reason to go to the bank and at least look at the terms.
True. But I don't got it in me to play small business sim for too long.
And Ruth just like nods, just you're better for it. I think, but that's Ruth's idea, is that if we want to know more about contracts and things, gotta get our hands on a contract.
All right. I mean, we can check out the bank tomorrow. Unless we're moseying along.
I think at this point, with people exploding, it's better to wait for Tris.
Is Trisannas still trying to contact Jed?
Yeah.
Okay. He is distant for quite some time. But if you are persistent, you can basically sort of mentally trace him back to where he has retreated.
Okay. I'll attempt to do so.
Okay. You have to follow him into a dark place. I imagine you have to close your eyes and sort of mentally trace him there. And as you do so, you have to rely on your other senses in order to trace him. The sense of hearing, the sense of smell. Film has a very distinct sort of chemical smell to it. And you can hear the clicking of a camera lens, and the shuffling steps of his boots. But you eventually come to the point where you feel as though he is right in front of you.
Jedediah, are you there?
You shouldn't be here.
Well, where else should I be?
Anywhere but Glimmer.
Yes, I'm finding that this town is not quite what it seems. Tell me more, and quickly, if you don't mind, if I'm in as much danger as you say.
The photographs. Everyone who's been here. I've tried to take a photo of them all. So that you can at least know who has been here and who is gone.
So you're not capturing souls?
Capturing souls. Miss, I cannot do that.
Understood. Who is hurting people or making them disappear?
It's her. It's always been her. She's trying to protect them, but she can't.
Not Sissy. There's someone else, isn't there?
No, it's Sissy.
Oh,
it's her
right,
for sure.
That was my mistake. I apologize.
she is the first. You know, she's the first one. Like it would be too confusing if we.
Oh, all right, I understand. Yes, no, that's fine. Thank
We
you for the
can't do that on the
confirmation.
first adventure, you understand?
So, you're right. You are correct. Mm,
It's no, it's her for sure. It's her.
all right. And how
She's
is
trying to
she
protect her. She's trying to protect him, but she can't bring them back.
trying to protect them? How is she doing this? Is she using law?
There is a distinct rattling sound. And you hear him make sort of a fearful strangled noise. And you feel his hands like grab your shoulders
Mhm.
and like all but shake you. Uh, the vault! They're in the and then he just is gone. Ripped away as though by like a marionette by strings.
Yeah. I'll find you, friend, and I'll bring you back. I promise. She kind of shuffles the clothing that the barely clothing that she's wearing and hikes it up slightly as she walks her way back to the group. Hello.
Hi,
Hey.
they want to go to the bank tomorrow, which means we're staying here for another day?
Yes, well, I don't know if doing anything tomorrow is going to be. I fear that if we stay the night, something bad. If we sleep here, something bad might happen to us.
Great, so can we leave?
There are souls and people trapped here. I think it best if we free them. Miss Sissy is behind it. She's taken them and put them in some sort of vault. Jedediah was documenting all the people that came in. That's why he was taking pictures of everyone, so that there was proof that people were here. And apparently cameras do not capture people's souls. Who knew?
Well, technically, looks over to the body of Jedediah.
I mean,
Oh,
not
well.
his camera. Like, he doesn't have that ability. But you know what? I'll write that one down. We'll see. Maybe later.
I think Ruth gets a very sullen look and says, "It's been a long time since I said this, but I think breaking into the vault is the right thing to do.
Where is the vault?
It's probably going to be in the bank, to be honest, either that or in the middle of City Hall, but typically banks operate with their money inside of the bank. However, just because it's all the money, or in this case, things Miss Sissy doesn't want them to see, it'd be heavily guarded."
Are we looking for money or are we looking for people?
I believe we're looking for people. But apparently she's trying to protect people by capturing them. I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure either.
This is a
Raquel,
lot.
yeah, Raquel, you're not under any obligation to help us do this.
What
I
do y'all
mean-
want to do? Like right now, we are standing in a graveyard with a lot of people looking at us, and it's making me very uncomfortable. What do y'all want to do?
I think we should lay low for a little bit. Once everyone settles in for the night, then we make our move.
Back to the tavern. We got rooms there.
Yeah, I could use a lie down, honestly.
But we're not staying the night.
Well, we'll see what happens. We gotta do what we're gonna do tonight.
If you'd rather sleep outside of city walls, I'll accompany you.
I just about did leave,
Well, I'm
and the
glad you
city
came back.
and the city looked all too happy to have me gone. I don't know if I go out if I'm going to be able to get back in.
I don't know if you're going to be able to leave, to be honest.
It didn't seem like there was anything stopping me.
All right, well, if you want to go, you can go. We'll meet up with you on the road. Or you can make your way by yourself.
May I?
I'm going with you to the tavern.
We appreciate it.
We could use your skills. Shall we, then? I can't wait to get this ridiculous clothing off.
Do that. There's a dress code.
Well, once I'm in my room, I can do as I please, I assume.
We'll find out how that works out.
Did you think that they made you wear fancy dress when you were going to bed?
Yes,
Oh. Do you have fancy dress for going to bed?
I didn't have this.
Well, I appreciate the enthusiasm and the initiative, but I think we'll be all right. Mostly because we're going to just relax and calm down before we head back out. And then you can wear whatever you want.
Rakel just looks confused.
Fair. But the rules. The rules.
They wouldn't be rules.
Different rules apply in the bedroom.
The rules changed Ruth's appearance whenever we walked in.
It wasn't
true.
Ruth who changed. It was the town that changed Ruth.
All right. To the inn.
All right. Y'all are gonna return to the inn. It seems that the initial excitement surrounding the event from earlier tonight has started to die down. People are going their separate ways, and eventually the body is carried away. Y'all head back to the inn, and you are actually met at the door. Did you guys happen to drop off any of your stuff when you came to the inn, or?
Ruth did.
Kid did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All of those things have been valeted to the front,
Oh.
and they seem a little bit confused when they realize that you're actually staying the night. It seems that somebody had sent word ahead that you were leaving. And they're very apologetic about the confusion, and they're working on getting you back into your rooms.
That's fine. You'll find us at the bar.
Go sit at the bar.
Yeah, wait for our rooms to get settled.
Sure thing.
Pop open the book.
Okay. Rakel, you pop open the book, and do you start from the beginning of the book, or do you start towards the middle where
Start where he was writing.
Okay. There is no writing on this page. It is merely a quick gesture drawing of yourself and Kid. Yourself standing and Kid sitting. It seems to be the two of you from afar at the cabaret.
Okay. Previous couple pages.
It's a few sketches of several different people. However, the first sketch you come across is a much more involved portrait of Trisannas.
Okay. Flip to the front.
You flip to the front, and it is a few other sketches of just normal looking Wild West sort of folk. Like very similar to the drawing of Trisannas. A few of them are just like quick sketches. And as you flip through the book, you can see that like he did improve over time.
Okay. Raquel did
You
go with Tris whenever Tris walked by the photography place. Would Raquel have recognized the person as Jada?
I think so. Yeah. He had a very distinct sort of fashion. Push broom mustache, suspenders.
Is there hmm. Is there anybody else whose portrait was sketched that Raquel would recognize?
Yes, actually. You see as you're flipping through the book, you eventually see a drawing of Town Hall, and in front of Town Hall, standing as though posing for it is the one that you're looking for, Majni.
Shit.
There seems to be a note at the bottom of this drawing, and it says, "Not a ritual caster," with "not" underlined.
What's a ritual caster?
Who are you asking?
The other people at the bar. Ruth, Kid, the people who know this land.
Well, it's type of spellcaster that usually takes from a book. It has some sort of formulae or step-by-step process to help enact some sort of spell that they want to do. Typically, it's like sacrifice a bit of blood.
Well, that's not entirely true either. The sacrifice of blood, that can be part of what we have referred to in the past as an instant speed cast. Now, a ritual caster, for the most part, they need to take time to be able to set up to perform their magics. Like our dear friend Miss Tris here, in order to perform some of her magics, has to require time and setup and preparation versus doing something off the cuff, like Kid did.
Kid just snap his fingers and with like his genasi, like ancestry, make like a little spark between them.
Mm-hmm. Like that.
I will say, rituals are a mechanical thing, in 4E, and only certain classes or people with a feat can cast rituals. And oftentimes rituals are utility. Think of like pretty much any spell in 5th edition that isn't really used for like doing damage.
Detect magic.
Identify.
Yes. Anything in 5e that is written as a ritual would be a ritual. But there's a lot of spells in 5e that would fall under that would be very similar to 4th edition rituals, like Greater Restoration or Remove Curse. But in this world, a ritual caster is someone who is specialized. Those who are imbued with law are fairly rare. Those who are imbued with law and also able to cast rituals are rarer still.
Did
Kid, it
did
seems like somebody next to you is fairly into their cups and weeping openly.
I do want to keep looking and see if he ever noted if he did find a ritual caster.
Yeah. You keep on looking. Give me a perception check or a history check. One of the two.
A natural one
My God.
or an 11.
Oh my god.
A natural one is not for a skill check is not an automatic failure. It takes you some time, because you're not as used to reading in common. But you're able to eventually track down every instance of a note written in this sketchbook and determine without a shadow of a doubt that a ritual caster was never found. But there are lots of, how do you say, cryptic things written in here. Things like vault, things like just a page full of tally marks. Things like a few names. There's a page that is just a list of names. And Majni is among them.
Ashney might be in the vault. Kid's gonna approach the bartender and, hey, what's the deal with from like in like a chest level so they can't see Kid pointing at them, points to the openly weeping person with their thumb.
Oh, well, he's new. This is Rosie. You've met her before.
Yeah.
He's new. Um, don't know if he's decided if he's staying or passing through yet. It looks like he's really going through it.
What's he drinking?
Gin?
May I have 2 glasses, please?
Sure thing.
Pay, walk over, holding both glasses.
Okay. As you get close to him, you realize entirely too late that he's wearing a jacket that looks pretty familiar, as it is covered in metal studs, and you hear him wail, "A toad without its thorns is still a toad, but what's a thorn without its toad?"
Sounds like you're in quite the predicament, partner.
Oh, you don't know the half of it. He turns around, and sure enough, it's one of Thorny Toad Jim's thorns.
Kid will put the gin glass he has in his hand and just slide it over the empty gin glass that the this thorny toad boy has and sit down across from him.
Thanks, fella. You're
Yeah.
awful kind.
Yeah, no problem. It sounds like you know some loss.
Sorry, my brain memed on me and I had to recover. Sure thing, Fran, sure thing. You miss one night of billiards and poker, and you lose everything.
I hear that. I hear that. Well, he will raise his gin glass to those we have lost.
To Thorny Toe Jim!
To Thorny Toad Jim. Clink.
Throws that gin back. And then, like, dissolves into a puddle of tears.
He, like, face plants in front, starts crying. Rakel looks over to Kid. Kid just goes, can you, Kid mouths, get Ruth out of here?
Did he just say Thorny Toad Jim?
Zoom in on Kid, just like,
I think when you ask, like, did he just say Thorny Toe Jim? Ruth just like slams the rest of his drink and says, "It's time to mosey," and he like, gets up off of his chair and
just takes his jacket off, folds it over his arm.
No, because the town has made him look like he is not wearing Thorny Toad Jim's jacket. However, he is going to exit this building and remaster this jacket, as it were.
Now, time to do the decent thing and get this man blackout drunk so that he can't remember any of us
So we
tomorrow.
can steal another jacket. Yeah, wait, no, your thing.
Incredible. Okay. Give me a diplomacy check.
Yippee-ki-yay. 20.
Nice. He is none the wiser. And gosh, you sure are friendly.
It's the thing where, like, he goes to take a drink, but the drink has never gotten down past, like, half because Kid has just been quietly switching them around.
Oh, that's so sad. All right. You stay up for a bit with this guy and make sure that he drinks precisely as much as he likes.
And then I take him out back and I slit his throat. No.
Yay!
So my friend was talking about ritual casting. Kali Ma.
Jesus Christ. It'd be real easy. He only has 1 hit point.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking...
You're gonna hit him on the bar stool and this guy would go down.
I could hit him emotionally. It's not your fault.
You couldn't have protected him if you tried.
No.
He begged.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, that fucking got Simon.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Y'all are terrible.
We're outlaws, Danae.
All right. Well, we haven't heard from Trisannas in a bit.
Rakel, in the book, was there anything about there was something about a vault? Or it just said like this one's in a vault sort of thing?
I don't think it said anything other than just vault.
Okay.
I mean that's how it's spelled, right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean, it seems like he was just trying to get a record of everybody who's been here, however he could. But as far as actual things that we can act on, I'm not really sure what Jeddah was trying to tell us.
Do you know about how many people in this vault? Anything? Any sort of roundabout number?
I mean, there's just been like a couple of notes that just say vault. I don't know if there was any correlation or if he knew if anybody was taken.
All right. Well, do you have any skills in being subtle and quiet?
No.
Understood. In this, if we are to take on this endeavor, is there anything that you feel you could accomplish best as far as breaking into a vault? Can your spirit go through?
No.
Right. Well, I suppose we shall just see it when we get there. How are you about hurting those that stand in our way? I'm not saying we should kill everybody. I just want to know what level you're at.
I got some fighting me.
Understood. This is going to be a long evening, so you might want to. Excuse me, do you have any coffee?
Oh, yeah, sure thing, honey. Do you want some decaf?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm not much for sleeping at night. My kind tends to have a nap in the afternoon, and we're all right.
Oh, I see. Well, I could put on a pot for you, huh?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Rosie goes and starts percolating. Rakel, as you're flipping through the sketchbook, um, carefully reading each note you come across, you find a note that kind of stops you in your tracks just on account of how out of place it is. It says, "How long has it been? I don't remember. I need to take better notes." And it has a date written next to it, and every note after this has a date.
Trisannas, how long has it been since this day?
Since what?
Since this date?
How long has it been since this date?
The date on the paper is about 2 or 3 years ago.
A couple years. Do you use what calendar do you use? Moon cycles?
Yeah, but
Right.
it's not the same.
No. I understand. It was a bit of a adjustment for me as well. 4 seasons. Oh, I'm sorry. You said 2 years? Did I?
Yes, two or three,
Yeah.
something like that.
And
Um,
you said there's not been any new spheres for like what, 6?
That's what they said, yes.
Okay. So again, no real new piece of information here.
Alright. But if he was losing his memory, perhaps he was being affected by law in that way, so we should keep our wits about us and make sure we're not falling behind on that.
okay. Ruth, where did you go to?
I think what Ruth would do at this point is that he's kind of just like walking through town, but I think he arrives at City Hall, and he will is Lefty inside? Like, could he leave a letter here?
I think that Lefty actually runs into you.
Okay.
Because you walk up to City Hall and she's on her way out, just sort of shuffling a bunch of papers. And she looks up and sees you and brightens and then walks towards you.
He'll wave at her. And just
Howdy there. Ruth, right?
That's correct. Carruthers Edelweiss, but Ruth to my friends. I'll consider you included.
Well, much obliged to you, sir. And she like reaches into like her papers and sort of shuffles them, she doesn't seem the most organized, and she pulls out a stack of tickets. I got those tickets for the midnight train ready for you if you're wanting to take them.
That'd be very kind of you. What time is it now?
It's
Roughly?
around it's well after sunset.
Okay.
So like probably getting close to time. In fact, she seems a little bit rushed, as though she was trying to get it pushed through for you in time.
I appreciate this. I really do. But earlier today, a train almost hit myself and two of our other friends. I think we are going to try and travel on foot for the next little while. I do appreciate it, but we've also been traveling all day and could use some rest. I was wondering, do you have a pen or a quill or some scribing tool?
She like sort of pats all of her pockets and then remembers the pencil behind her ear, and she'll grab it triumphantly and hand it to you.
Ruth says, I know that the mayor's not in right now. I just wanted to leave a letter of appreciation for letting us stay in this wonderful town.
Well, that's awful nice of you, sir.
I'm sure she'd appreciate it. Which office is hers? If you don't mind, I can just leave it on her desk.
Oh, it's and she like, here, actually, I can take you over there. And she turns around and leads you back in.
Okay. So given the opportunity, Ruth wants to leave a letter, and he wants to write it when Lefty's not looking, because it is not a letter of appreciation for the town. The letter says, for the audience out there, the letter says, "You could have been so much better. It doesn't have to be like this here." And then a dash C.A.
Oh. Okay.
And he folds it up, leaves it into the desk.
Okay. Edelweiss is spelled with an E.
Depends.
I'm just remembering. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Let me check.
It's with an E.
Shit. C.E. then. Don't
I
know
was all
my
like, I wonder what-
name.
Don't tell
was
me
like-
how to spell my own name.
I was like, I wonder what the A stands for. And I was all like, well, I know what the C stands for. So, do I be a dick?
No, be a dick, please.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
She will like sort of like look. I imagine it's a like kind of a silent scene with Carruthers' voice superimposing, like saying what he's writing down, and we have a little character moment where she like leads you into the office, and you like start writing it down. She sort of looks over your shoulder, and there's kind of, you give her the vibe that like, no, you shouldn't be looking at this, and she goes, oh, and like turns away politely to not read over your shoulder. And you finish writing that letter and you fold it up, leave it on the desk. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception, I believe, is 18, but let me just double check. Yep, 18.
Okay. There is a couple of photographs on her desk. One is of her with the compass robes. It's an old photograph. And the other is her as a young kid. And she is giving kind of a gap-toothed grin, and she has her arm around another girl who is a little bit bigger than her and likewise is giving a gap-toothed grin. They both seem to be pretty excitable. And I'll say that the younger one is not a photograph; it's actually a drawing.
Okay. I think Ruth just sort of smiles seeing the younger picture, and he'll just say thank. Does he recognize? Like, does that person look like somebody in this town?
As you sort of start squinting at it, Lefty accidentally bumps into it and it falls over.
Huh. Locked. Yeah, I think Ruth will just sort of apologize for taking up time. And then we'll ask Lefty if she needs help carrying her letters, because it looks like she's got an armful right now.
She sort of looks down at them and she goes, "Oh, well, these were all for you to get you out of town. So I guess you won't be needing these." She just sort of like drops them on the desk.
I think Ruth chuckles at this, and then says, "Well, if you need me, you know where to find me. At least until tomorrow.
Honestly, I could use the help.
Anything you need."
Things around here are weird sometimes.
How do you mean?
Not wrong, just weird. You can't say that, Lynn. What was that?
What kind of weird, strange do you mean?
What do you mean weird?
Sometimes things in this town seem a little too right. Am I guessing correct?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Gosh, what are we doing in the sheriff's office?
And
She sort of
Ruth-
stands up and starts bustling you out of there.
Ruth, like, as they're bustling, he just sort of gets this, like kind of, like, internalized, like, what the fuck? And then says, have you finished the processing on old Jedediah yet?
Well, there's still a little bit more to process and to be done. I got his death certificate written up, but of course the investigation is ongoing.
Understandable. Well, hopefully, turns out just the way they look. For your sake, anyways.
She just smiles and nods, the implications of that going directly over her head.
Yep. Ruth will bid her goodnight and leave. In his mind, just, who is Lynn?
And I think with that, it would be a good time for us to go on break.
Incredible. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see all of you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. Hello, everybody. We have returned. We are back. Cowboy, take me away. Wings, back to you.
I mean, honestly, back to you guys. What is the plan tonight? I know that. I mean, y'all tell me. I know that Triss was drinking some coffee. Are you intending to stay up?
Yeah, I thought we'd attack the vault tonight, so as to not have any bad things happen to us in the night.
Did we have a long rest before getting into town?
Nope.
No. No, sir.
Oh, speaking of, everybody go ahead and add a action
Point.
Hey.
to their character sheets on account of the fact that you have had enough encounters to proc one.
Because, like, I don't have my daily on deck.
Because you took a long rest and then immediately used your daily.
Yeah. And we had a short rest after that, popping over the hill. Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Has anyone told Kid the plan? Because he's been getting this guy super drunk.
There's a
not-
plan.
There's a plan.
Right. Well, the plan was to try and free the people from the vault. Are you all right?
Me?
Yes.
I'm perfectly sober. I've been switching drinks with that motherfucker over there.
Well then.
Ruth
well,
just walks
first-
in, pats the dude on the shoulder. Nice jacket, and like comes up to the rest of the group.
Really pokey. You kind of like poke your hand when you do.
Well, we need to find the vault, open the vault, free the people from the vault, and hopefully that'll help start fixing the town.
He's so cute. You can't
can
see it because
come up
that's where the
here.
character art is, but
Oh, no.
Cat Simon is just like gentle, like putting paw up to try to get to LB's lap. It's very polite and very adorable.
Oh, he's well named. Come here.
Ruth, I think, would say, so we need to try to get into the vault. We need to try to locate the vault.
We need to talk about this somewhere that's not public.
Also true.
Shall we retire to my room?
Do we have a room?
We have
Yeah,
two.
did we get our rooms back?
We get our rooms back?
Yeah. At some point while Ruth was gone, you would have been approached and told where your rooms were at.
Well, if it's as Papa Cook used to say, there are only 4 rules you need to remember. You make the plan, you execute the plan, you expect the plan to go off the rails, and you throw the plan away.
Well, then what's the point of making a plan in the first place if
To
you're just gonna...
establish what your job is.
Right.
We don't need all 4 of us to be getaway drivers, then nothing would end up getting done.
Right. So, we should head to the bank after people settle down?
Bank might be closed. Could be, and this is a high likelihood, that they'd be using law to keep it locked up. So we'd have to figure out a way to get around that, to break the law, or bend the rules, as it were, like you did before, and we might have something going. That being said, that's only if the vault is indeed in the bank. Like I said earlier, it could be in 2 different places.
DM,
Yes.
what would I know about imposing my own law over someone else's if I roll an
In
Arcana check?
what situation?
Could I... well, I would need an equal amount of money, but it's established that essentially when law is used, it's like rewriting the rules of the world to do like the impossible, right?
Mhm.
Could I, given enough time, like rewrite the law that's on the vault so that it opens for us by using my own law?
I would say that if you had a mechanical power that would allow you to do something similar, then yes. But in the meantime, the mechanics of law are sort of limited to being able to equivalent exchange, turning magic items into gold, gold into magic items, and then like whatever powers you have access to that are like described on your character sheet.
Okay.
And that's sort of in canon
So I can
is powered by law.
so I can do like an Arcana check to try and have an addendum.
Yeah, similar to what Trisannas was doing with the the ghosts in the previous episode.
Okay. Well, sorry.
Now, I'm still catching up on a lot of this, but when will the bank close? And have we passed that point?
Bank's probably closed by now.
Okay. I don't know what a lot of the mechanics around using a bank work.
No one really does.
Banks are places where people keep their material goods that are very, they're worth a lot of gold
And
to
they
keep
would
them safe.
and they would keep them in the vault.
Yes.
Why?
To protect them?
Because people believe that this institution is capable and responsible for keeping their things safe. By
And in order to protect it, they would have it guarded, and they would make it so that other people wouldn't be able to get into it. So how do people typically get into it?
You work at the bank and they are allowed access to it.
Well, it really depends behind the locking mechanism of the vault.
Yeah, you could use an explosion. Usually I just ask a ghost to go in there and take a look for me so I can open it from the outside, but since that is not a possibility.
Usually we knock over things before they get to the bank. Did I say that out loud? My bad.
What kind of okay, I'm not thinking through this very well. Y'all, how do y'all plan on getting in?
Us personally this time?
Yes.
Well, it depends on what type of locking mechanism they have. They're usually made of metal, so some sort of cold would help to make it more brittle. Or perhaps someone could pick it. They could try and open it by using a combination, which is usually what they're closed with. Sometimes people leave the combination on a sticky note next to it. You never know.
Sometimes it's someone's birthday.
It's one of those things where we're gonna have to see what we're working with and then move on from there.
All right. Rakel gets up and starts walking towards the bank.
Is it late enough that people have turned in?
Yeah, it's well after sunset. The only people who are still awake are the people who are moonlighting at the bar. Yeah, I think that Thorn's gonna close the place. As you guys are on your way out, I think you'll even hear the mournful sound of the train horn off in the distance as the midnight train departs the station.
Everyone on your toes. Make sure we have eyes all around so we're not going to run into any problems.
We should probably bring most everything that we want to keep with us.
In case we need to make an expedient retreat, yes.
If we're leaving and then running back to a closed area, he thumbs to the bar. That's just asking to be cornered.
Kid doesn't have a lot of stuff. It's already on him.
He's got a guitar case now. That can hold a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I think Ruth is just gonna like pack up his meager belongings.
We'll try to exit, not stealthily, but without much fuss or drawing attention to ourselves.
All right. Not stealthily. So give me a streetwise.
Everyone.
Yeah, let's call it a group check.
Hey, that wasn't a natural one.
I'd love to see it. Far as y'all can tell, no one notices you leaving. Are you going directly to the bank?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Rakel didn't discuss this with anybody. She was told we'll have to see what the situation is, so she's gonna go see the situation.
Sounds good to me.
So she wants to know if there are like people outside, if they're like if this is a stealth game and she's waiting on cycles, or if I don't know, she just wants to see the situation.
Okay. You approach Town Hall, where the bank is located, and find that the streets are pretty well empty, and all of the lights are out in the windows.
And is there anybody? Is there anybody protecting the town hall?
There are no guards outside.
Okay, she's walking toward the bank.
There she goes.
Are there buildings close to the bank?
Yes. Town Hall has pretty much every law office in the town here.
Okay.
And the bank is just sort of included among them.
Could I scale one of these buildings an Assassin's Creed from top to top?
Sure. What is your end goal here?
My end goal is to get onto the roof of the bank to see if there is like a maintenance hatch or some other such thing that leads to the roof.
That's kind of fun. Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and you want to scale the building with an athletics or an acrobatics?
Athletics. 24.
That's pretty darn good. Well, I was trying to put it off so I could buy some time for you guys to get some more information, but this sounds an awful lot like the heist is happening now, so we should probably roll into initiative for a skill challenge.
Just doing it.
We're more of a improv crew.
Oh my god.
Beautiful. Look, everyone's here. We're all a part of it. Okay. Well, that just I'll let you guys know that the least you need for success is 6 successes for a partial, and 7 successes for a full victory. And you need to do this within 3 rounds.
Oh my god.
3 full rounds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, at the top of the initiative, we have Trisannas.
Okie dokie. I'm going to go ahead and use insight to give a check around these doors, look at the building to see where the best point of entry would be.
Okay, that works for me.
23.
23. That's pretty darn good. And also a success. You're able to. So, say again what you're looking. You're looking for the best point of entry.
Yes.
Okay. Your intuition tells you that the front doors would probably be locked, and a quick check would confirm that fact. All of the windows are barred. The best point of entry is going to be either picking the locks on the front doors or finding a more creative point of entry, which Ruth is well on his way to doing.
Okay. I will
Oh,
motion to
another thing. Sorry. The bank is a part of a larger network of buildings. The like town hall is essentially I described this in the previous episode, but it was 2 weeks ago, so I can't expect anyone to have this in mind. All of these buildings, all of these offices are basically a part of the same unit. And all of the doors sort of open up into a courtyard that like you could access them from that courtyard, like basically enter whichever door you need to get like into the courthouse, into the post office, into the like basically every government building is right here, but they are also connected. So the implication seems to be that if you could get into one building, you might be able to navigate into another from inside. Sorry. Just so you guys have that in mind moving forward. What were you going to say?
I was going to motion to Ruth and say and sort of say can you get in from up there?
He'll check it. I assume I would have to do something similar to that on his turn.
Sure. You're already up there, so you like looking around. You'd be able to communicate to her that there are no obvious entrances into the bank from up here. But there is some ventilation going into some of the adjacent buildings.
He'll just like hold his fist up, like he's looking for it currently.
She kind of goes shrugs and goes what does that mean? Woo!
Rock on, old man.
Yeah, rock on, Ruth. You're doing great up there. Thumbs up.
Okay. Next on the initiative is Kid.
May I use either an insight or arcana check to see if these entrances are warded by anything, silent alarm spells, that sort of deal?
You may not use insight because Trisannas just did.
Arcana it is.
Sounds good to me. An 18 is not going to be enough.
Oh boy.
You could either use an action point to reroll.
Sure, because if we have another encounter after this, I get another action point anyway.
It's every two encounters that you get an action point.
Okay. Quack! I'm rerolling. 23 this time.
That would do it. The bank doors do seem to have a ward on them of some sort.
Just the doors?
I mean, like, any direct point of entry into the bank has gold on it that implies to you that someone would be notified of entry if someone were to go through.
I will relay as such to everyone by me.
Boge. Rakel is next.
It still seems like we haven't perceived a point of entry, so that's what I would like to try and do.
With perception?
Yes.
All right. A
that-
16
that-
isn't quite enough.
That's bad. I'm doing action.
Boy,
29.
29. Incredible. With perception, I think that you would be able to identify a number of windows and doors into adjacent buildings that would be likely to have another point of entry internally into the bank.
I will communicate those.
All right. That is 4 total successes. No, wait, 3 total successes, and we're coming around to Rakel. Not Rakel, Ruth. My God. It's Dungeons and Dragons, guys!
So Ruth has not heard any of them being like entryways. So if possible, and this might be a stretch, but I would like to use gold to install a trap door into the ceiling. In the same way that a cloak of many things has like windows and doors and things like that you can throw out there, would you be able to use gold to create a door in a structure?
Let me see if there is actually a cloak of many things in in 4th edition.
God, I hope so. It's the greatest item.
I'm not seeing anything. I'm just gonna try door. Okay. There is something like that. It's called a hag's doorknob. When you touch this tarnished doorknob to a wall, a door to the other side of the wall instantly forms. It is a level 12 uncommon item, and it costs 500 gold pieces.
Oh.
The cost isn't the problem, it's the level that is. So, okay. Can't do that. I will start looking at like ventilation elevation things.
Okay.
Or the air conditioner and stuff. Airways. I don't know the name of the word. Ventilation. God, there it is. The ventilation shaft.
I wasn't hanging you out to dry
No,
there. I
it's okay.
legitimately was fully like head empty. Like
got
the
it in one. We're fine.
the little loading cursor was just fully spinning in my brain. I was all like, he's gonna say something eventually.
He'll get it.
Get there eventually. All right.
Okay.
So you're gonna be looking into ventilation as an option for getting down there. The person previous to you has rolled perception.
Okay.
So feed me a skill that would lead into your subsequent
Stealth.
action.
Because I
Stealth.
have to take this grate off in order to get in.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Stealth. I'm going to use an action point.
Oh, yeah?
Because I got a 15. Oh, that's even worse.
Now it's not so bad for you guys to
Oh,
fail a skill check
God.
every now and then. You have killed every skill challenge you've been in, because you've basically succeeded fully in them by round 2. You have some time to run into it.
No, that's totally fine. I just think it's funny that I rolled a 1 on my reroll.
All right.
Terrible.
How exactly does this failure manifest? Okay. You are able to open that vent and get in there. And as you are sort of banging around in the ventilation system, it's first of all pretty clear to you that it's not very stealthy. And second of all, you're not sure where you're going.
Hasn't stopped me before. Probably should have.
It is Trisannas next.
Okie dokie. I am going to I guess attempt. Well, I don't think it's a good idea for me to attempt to take these runes off the wall. Because I'm not very good at Arcana. Off the door, I mean.
You could probably leverage a nature check, just on
Okay.
account of the fact that you have a primal power source
That's fair.
for your class.
Yeah, I
so
think.
You using law would it would swing as nature, I think.
Okay. I think I'll do that then. Then I will kind of crouch at the door and begin to pull out some coins to try to rewrite or dispel this door magic.
All right. Cool. I'm into it. A 19 is going to be enough.
Whew.
What door are you dispelling the magic on?
I assume the front door is kind of like really exposed. Right? Like it's out in public. It's gonna be very obvious that I am sitting in front of a door like doing stuff. So I would say if there's like a side or back door, one of those.
Okay. So like directly into the bank or into an adjacent building?
Directly into the bank. Okay.
You can find a back door, probably it appears to be like an employee entrance. You are able to dispel the magic that would alert someone were this door to be opened. Okay. Kid, it is now your turn.
We've got Ruthie in the vents. We've got Trisannas trying to remove the runes. Yeah. What are my options? I could try falling in after Ruthie.
If you'd like.
Just hear the clang, clang, clang. Oh, dear God. You know what? Can I use an insight to assist Triss with removing the runes? Insight because in my head, Trisannas is trying to use like nature spirits while these runes are more arcane in nature, so I can translate to her what's going on to make it easier to interfere with the runes.
Interesting. I feel like insight is kind of a stretch.
I can't use Arcana because I just used it.
I would think that would either be diplomacy to try and explain it to her.
Okay.
Or nature, which is what she used.
I've got diplomacy.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
That's okay. You guys still have many more checks to get this right, and you only need one more for a success.
Kid has
a partial
saddled
success,
up
anyway.
Kid has saddled up next to Triss and just squinting at the runes like, these are all blurry as hell.
Oh,
That's
buddy.
because you're in my light, darling.
No, I mean like even the right. Am I nearsighted?
Can you see with your eyes squinted like that?
It helps, yeah. I don't want to, but it helps.
You see Triss like reach up and just open your eye a little bit.
There's a beam of gold to.
What's that light over there? Gives away his position. No, it doesn't happen. All right. So that was Kid. Rakel.
So last turn I perceived and communicated the position of windows that
Mhm.
we could possibly use to get in,
Mhm.
and that
And
information
doors.
went
Well,
okay.
I imagine that the door that Trisannas used to I imagine the door that Trisannas disenchanted was one of the doors that Rakel pointed out.
Okay. But since that door is enchanted, I I would like to try and get into a window that isn't as well guarded, or another possible vantage point. Um, how do
I would say there's what was the skill that you used previously?
perception?
Perception. And the skill that was used previous to your turn was diplomacy. So I could you could take a physical approach to this and try to like enter from like a higher level where it's less likely to have as strict security, or you could try and take a magical approach to this and try and disenchant the way that Trisannas attempted. You could let me look at options as far as skills go, because that's what you want to do is to try and enter in through a door of some sort, right?
Uh, yeah, a door or a window. But my my immediate thought was if she just noticed like second story windows, that would be that seemed like easier points of entry. Um, then she would try and like call Morbeck and sort of do a running leap off of him to try and get
Sure.
into the window.
Um, Ruth seemed to be able to enter into a vent from the roof. So it seems that the higher up you go, the less tight the security is. So entering in from a higher window in a higher level of the building seems to be a valid strategy.
So that would be
Athletics, acrobatics, endurance for a for climbing pretty high up. Or even I could swing endurance for like hanging onto a window long enough to realize whether or not it has protections on it. It's up to you.
I'm I'm gonna acrobatics and try to jump through a window.
Okay.
14.
Not enough, I'm afraid.
Ow.
You could, however, you do not manage to smash through this window as I like was that the intent or
Yep.
okay. You do not manage to smash through this window, but you could remain hanging off of the ledge of the window until this skill challenge either resolves or we come back around to your turn.
Sure.
Cool. Ruth, you are scrambling through some vents.
Yes.
You're
Okay.
a little bit lost.
You darn right I am. Would I be able to use insight or perception to get a better understanding of like a good exit point? in these vents? Like, based off of how far I've traveled,
Yeah.
how far do I think
Yeah.
I'm one way or the other?
You absolutely should be able to use either one of those.
Okay.
Dungeoneering is another option there.
I don't have as many points in that one. So
I understand, but I just remembered that was a skill, so I
Mhm.
thought I'd say it.
yeah. Ugh, I'm gonna use another action point.
Boy,
It's bad. All right, insight. 26.
26. That's pretty darn good. What are you looking for specifically as your
So I think at this point I'm looking for either the stereotypical like slats where you can see into the room below, or like kind of like a crack in the HVAC
Mhm.
for the most part, like an exit point essentially
Okay.
that will let him into this building.
Right.
If not the
I'll
bank,
give
then
I'll give you this. And it's I'll let you make of it what you will. You come to realize that some paths through these vents are dustier than others. And just sort of on a whim, you follow the less dusty paths, and eventually come to a place where there is a handle on the inside
oh hell yeah.
from your side.
Yeah. I'll exit, or at least like reveal, see if there's any, like, if it looks clear, I will exit.
You quietly open it. You find the room to be empty of any other bodies, no other people are here. But it is clearly a room where people have been, and has been frequented by one person at least in particular. What you find looks to be like a sniper's nest in the clock tower.
How the hell? Okay.
Does Ruth see us like all the way at the bottom, still finagling?
This place has an incredible vantage point on nearly every street and alley in town. It is a bird's eye view of plenty of positions in the town. And yeah.
I'm gonna start rifling through some shit, but
All right.
that's until next turn.
Do not
Yeah,
rifle in the sniper's tower. That means you're going to snipe.
With that success, we are at a partial success for the skill challenge. At this point, we're just gambling for gravy. We only have one more round left. With 2 more successes, you'll have a full victory.
A Pyrrhic victory.
All right. Trisannas, it is you again.
Hello, it's me. Did I open the door? Because I was successful on my nature check.
You were. Yeah, you were able to remove the protections on this door. And I'll say that you even were able to remove the lock on the door. As it seems that, this particular door was actually locked with law.
Ooh, dope. Okay, I am going to then open the door and use my insight, right? You didn't use insight, right, Ruth?
I did use insight.
He did.
Oh, you
He did
did.
use insight.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I'm going to use acrobatics to tumble my way in, Mission Impossible style. Dun, dun, dun,
Looking
dun,
out for
dun,
lasers.
Dun. Yes.
All right. Doing a tumble.
So 26.
Hell yeah.
Trees are actually quite nimble. Thank you.
Beautiful. Graceful. Lovely. You tumble in, and no one is the wiser.
Hopefully my friends are the wiser and can see that I have opened this door.
Well, Kid was standing right next to you, and it is now Kid's turn.
He'll stage whisper up to Rakel, and then like motion towards the door if they want to take that way in, and then follow Triss in.
Rakel just dangling her spear slightly in the window.
God, if I nat 20 this and like full clear it, can I use athletics to catch Rakel?
Yeah, I'm down for it. If Rakel is going to fall. I think that whether or not you succeed in this athletics check decides whether or not Rakel falls.
I don't know. It's up to Cyber.
Like
if,
it's kind of up to Cyber.
Rakel's turn doesn't come until after you roll this thing, so
got it.
It's true. It's true.
I'd like to athletics to brace to catch in
Okay.
case they fall.
Okay. Yeah, actually that works for me. Yep.
17.
I would like to endure so I don't fall.
Yeah, we did it.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rakel. Okay. Rakel, you're able to climb into the window that you're hanging from. Kid, turns out you didn't have to catch her. But which you totally would have. Wink, wink. Yeah, like that definitely would have happened. Wink.
No, Rakel splats next to him. Maybe I am nearsighted.
Where? Okay, what am I in now?
Well, you're in a one of the higher levels of the bank. So let me think of the layout exactly. I'm pretty sure that Trisannas and Kid are in like the offices, sort of like behind the desks of the lobby, right? So where all of the clerks would be working, which means I think Rakel is in the records office, which is where all of the records, like rows upon rows of filing cabinets. So information, basically.
You
Okay.
mean to tell me one singular match and everyone could be debt free?
Yep,
You're muted.
I was talking to Abaddon. I
Oh, okay.
apologize.
No, it's no worry.
Yeah.
So I think if I think Ruth would make like the call of a night bird or like some other nocturnal flyer to like signal to Kid that like he'll be the eye in the sky. And he will make a signal. Oh, lantern. He'll just like Morse code
That's fun.
to Kid. He'll like send him some he'll send you some flashes to let you know that he's up here now.
Okay. Kid, you receive a Morse code lantern message on the ground. What does it say?
It just says if danger is approaching, keep your ears out for a single howl. And then like he'll like show himself like on the
Going, oh.
I'm sorry. This has now become a true character decision. Kid has you see Kid put his arms on his hips and squint at the ground.
Mm-hmm.
A single towel? What's that mean? And then he just sees a blur in the distance that looks like they're howling, but it's a blob.
poor boy's got
Aw.
an astigmatism.
Oh.
Are we moving or not?
I don't know, Ruthie's saying something about a towel.
How? Why are they making a face like they are howling to the moon?
He'll like
Ow.
motion like go.
Thumbs up. Begin to move to vault, please.
Yeah.
We will close the door behind us so it looks like it is still locked.
Okay, works for me. What is Rakel doing up in the records room?
Are there Raquel's not going to be like rifling through the filing cabinets, but is there anything that has been out and used recently, like clearly being looked at?
Roll me a d20.
That can be done
Just-
with a button.
Yeah,
8.
just a flat d20. Okay. The place seems a bit too clean. It looks like this place has been made spotless in the way that one does when they're expecting company to come over. And you know, like, is this a universal thing? Did everybody else's moms freak out and be all like, get rid of the chairs, we can't let them know we sit, like get all hands on deck to clean whenever company was coming over? This is spotless in that way.
Okay, so there's nothing besides like the filing cabinets. No sign of use, no.
Like, nothing has been left out. Like, even like the bins, like the waste baskets, those are all also empty.
Yeah, Raquel's not patient enough to look around any further. She's gonna leave and try and go to some other room.
Okay. We'll come back to her in a second. Ruth, you are up in the clock tower in what appears to be a sniper's nest. What are you doing up here?
So he's investigating around a little bit while keeping watch. The way that this sniper's nest is laid out, is he familiar with somebody who would have been, like, does he recognize like patterns in the nest itself, kind of thing? Like, is this the mayor's spot, basically?
It does seem familiar to you.
Okay.
Like there is a smell in the air of like the particular brand of cigars that she likes.
Okay. I think he's gonna do a quick check. How recently does this look like it has been left? Like, is there like a slight like layer of dust on it, more so than everything in the Weird West has a weird layer of dust about it?
There certainly isn't dust.
Okay.
But if you go over to the stool like next to the window, where like it would be very easy to like set up a sniper rifle and like peer through a scope, put a hand on the stool, it's cold. So
Okay.
she has been here within like the last 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. Not enough time to gather dust, but not recently enough for the seat to still be warm.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's going to just be gathering a bird's eye view. I think he's going to be trying to like see if there's going to be any trouble for his friends while they go in and do this thing.
I love that for you. Can you just give me a quick perception check for that?
Yes. 19.
19, that's pretty darn good. I think that you can safely say that if somebody approaches from the street level, you will know.
Okay.
Kid and Trisannas, you are down in the lobby area, behind the desks. You were heading towards the vault. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
scope out
Okay.
the bank door, to vault door, to see what kind of mechanism to open it.
Okay. It has large, sort of like bronzed, like gold-plated bars over it. And in the center of it is one of those big like cog style like vault door like handles, right? And in the center of that is a combination lock.
How many numbers?
How many numbers are normally in a combination lock? I know
Uh,
on a locker it's like
4 to
3. That's
6.
4 to 6. We'll go with 6.
Well, it could be day, month, year when the bank opened.
Yeah, no, there are 4 deputies in the Compass Roves. Let's make it 4. That makes more sense to me.
What are the odds? It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, let's make sure it's not trapped first.
Actually, we'd find out what the odds are on it being 1, 2, 3, 4 with me.
Oh my god, please.
Actually, admin and nothing else. There is no password other than that.
Pass.
Is it
Just
lettered?
pass.
Because, like, we could put ADIM in there.
Nah, it's a number. It's a
Okay.
number for sure.
Can we do a check to see if it's trapped?
Yes. You want to do investigation? If you're using your magic, it would be nature.
I will use my magic. Because that's what I know how to do. I don't know about
Aye.
mechanical stuff. Oh my god. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Mhm.
As far as you can tell, there's no magical traps on here.
It seems clear.
Kid turns to Triss, holding a piece of paper and a pen. There's about 10,000 combinations.
I thought we only needed 1.
Well, possible combinations.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Maybe we should check in with, like, a bank manager and see if they have the credentials. Like their office, you know?
Oh, right. Well, you'd have to go upstairs. I'll stay here and watch the bowl. And maybe start fiddling with it. I will do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why, Miss Triss, out in public? The
1, 2, 3,
indecency.
4.
Yeah.
Roll me a d20.
Oh boy. Alright. I'm busting out the miniature dice for this. Excuse me, Abnon.
You don't know how badly I'm hoping for this to succeed. My blood pressure
9.
is spiking.
You rolled a 9?
Oh.
Yes. I'm so
Luck.
sorry.
Luck's not on your side today.
Yeah, well, it was worth a shot.
Kid's gonna look around for a manager's office.
Okay. Perception check.
Yeah, chef. 4. I'm pretty
Okay.
lost.
You find it, but it takes you some time. Let's cut back to Rakel. You have left the records office.
Yes.
You are now what I'm going to describe to you is going to sound something like a prison. But I want you to sort of divorce those associations from your mind. You're walking down a narrow hall, and there's stone wall to your right, and there are like bars, like vertical bars to your left. And then behind those bars are a wall of safes.
Okay. And the safes are okay.
What you have found is essentially the safety deposit boxes. safety deposit boxes.
Is there anything is there like a door or some entrance between the bars and the hallway that I'm in right now that would
There is a door in the bars, yes.
is it open?
It is not.
Is there a key or anything in the immediate vicinity?
There is not.
I'll keep going.
Okay. You begin to move again. And you feel a slight sort of tugging inside you. There is a there is a bit of friction as you start to walk away. And it confuses you for a moment until you realize what you are feeling is the thing that has been missing since you got here. There's a very strong spiritual presence coming from behind the bars.
I mean, okay, if I speak with spirits, do I get a response? Like if I try to connect with that.
If you try to connect, I think just the proximity would definitely confirm to you that the spirits are here. But by the nature of them being locked away, I think that you would have to free them in order to communicate with them freely. But you are like, by using speak with spirits, you could absolutely confirm that the aspects, the spirits as you understand them, have been missing from this place are all kind of accumulated here and trapped here.
Okay. The, I mean, there's no way for me to tell if there's any, like if any of the deposit boxes are unlocked or anything.
Not from this side of the bars.
And there's nothing immediately around that I would be able to find that would give me access to the door.
No.
To get to the
There are no like keys hanging on the wall in order to open up the bars to get to the safety deposit boxes.
Okay, I keep going.
Okay. We have not checked on Ruth yet. Like we checked on Kid and Trisannas last. So, Ruth, what are you up to?
Is there like a I think he's going to start rooting around a little bit. I think he's going to start like looking through the shit. Is there like any kind of like diary, or are there pictures? Like is there anything up here in this nest other than just like a seat, some scuff marks where he knows like a gun has been pointed, or is it just like very bare bones?
I need a check of some sort.
Sure.
Either Perception or investigation?
I will do perception, I think, because I don't believe my investigation is that high. Investigation's not a skill in this game.
There's no investigation in this game?
Nope.
That's really silly.
So perception it is.
I knew this would be a problem for me because it was the hardest thing for me going from 4th to 5th
22.
was the different skill. 22. That's pretty darn good. Yeah, you rummage around. You find that there is actually a little corner where she has possibly been sleeping as well. You dig under the pillow, and you first find a pistol, and you dig under the pillow, you find a dagger. Finally, you dig under the pillow one last time, and you find a tiny little diary with a strap holding it shut, with a little metal heart
I'm
to
gonna
clasp
take
it.
all of them.
All right,
Yep, just pocket it all.
works for me.
And then I think the last thing that he would want to do is, so he's in the clock tower. I'm guessing it faces or has openings on like a north, south, east, west.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You have a pretty good 360 of the entire town.
What are the primary things that are out of the directionals? Like, does it have like a specific view of like the cemetery and then a specific view of like another establishment? Like, does it have like a primary view of any of these, or is it more just like you can kind of just see everything?
The best view it has is straight down Main Street.
Okay.
But it does have a fairly good view of everything from there. But like anything down alleyways and such, like it feels like if you were trying to design this town to be like to have every corner of it visible from here, it is not designed that way.
Okay.
Which sort of lines up with your understanding of how this town has been co-opted, that the bones of it were already here,
Okay.
and it's just kind of been shellacked over with a patina of gold.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, Main Street is like the main one, and then everything else, a decent look, but there are definitely blind spots.
Okay.
If you know, if you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he will he'll start plotting, he'll start planning an escape route. Like if his friends need a quick out, like if he sees shit going down, he'll make the howl in the tower, and then rush off towards like what he believes to be the best form of escape, or best
Love it.
path of escape. Yeah.
Yep. The town is eerily silent, very quiet. In fact, there is not a window with a light on in the entire town.
I don't like that at all, actually. That's sus as fuck.
Because if the lights are on, the bombers can see them.
Okay. Let's come back to Kid and Triss. Decided to go and look in like the head clerk's office
Yeah, that's what Kid was doing.
for some clues.
Damn it, why didn't I think of that?
What?
Well, no, it's already... So my brain went to, National Treasure.
Mm-hmm.
If possible, could I have used Arcana to stimulate the gold in the lock to show which numbers were used? Because there's only certain numbers that would activate the lock.
That's a fun concept. Let's hold on to it.
Okay.
And
I'm looking around.
let's hold on to it. That might possibly be useful in future.
Yeah. But I've already done check to get here. It took a while.
Okay.
Is the door locked or anything?
To get into the clerk's office?
Yeah.
Nah, it seems most of the internal doors are there's not as much concern. It seems like the external doors in the vault are the biggest security concerns here.
That's weird. Like, everything but the vault's a shell. Hate that. Into the clerk's office.
All right. You step in. And what are you looking for in particular?
A hint as to what the combination would be, any outlying notes that say, hey, remember, we're changing the code to blah, blah, blah on this day.
Okay.
Picture of, like, the first bank manager standing next to the vault with, like, the year.
Okay. You step into the office. It's the head clerk. I'll say his name is
Something Smythe. I like Smythe for a clerk name.
nah, it's Winchester Clay.
All right. Banker by day, bounty hunter by night, I guess. Winchester Clay. How's it like having your last name and first name reversed?
Um y'all all right. Definitely not
Sorry.
making this up on the spot. No, I'm just connecting some dots. Okay. Y'all step into this office of the head clerk by the name of Winchester Clay. You're looking for clues. Give me a check of some sort.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
I think that the check depends on your approach.
Yeah. If I head to, like, their desk, the head clerk's desk, and use an insight check to try and get into his mind of where he would store important documents.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Right. Go for it. Absolutely.
No. Actually, I'm gonna use an action. Well, I'll save it. Yeah. I don't see shit.
Okay. Uh, Trisannas is also here, so she could also be looking around if she'd like to.
I was staying at the vault.
Yeah,
You're
she's
staying at the vault.
Yes,
Okay.
I was over by the bench.
I was over by the bench. Um, this is the most ones I have seen someone like roll a group roll collectively in quite a while, I have to say.
Better now than later.
I will put it this way. You find what you're looking for, but it takes some time, right? It is the better part of 20 minutes before you're able to find anything useful. I think you kind of have to like dig through a lot of papers, and it's pretty.
It's messy. Clearly,
Yeah.
someone will come here tomorrow and be like, "Someone was in my desk."
Precisely what I was going to say is that it's very clear that somebody has been here by the time you're done.
Desk isn't even in the spot anymore; it's across the room.
But after some time, you're able to put together that this guy has been a big name in the town for quite some time, since before Sissy took over. That he used to have a daughter, but there is no evidence of her in recent years. And anywhere where this daughter would normally be mentioned, the name has been scrubbed away. Like, I imagine that this is part of what takes you so long, is that like you put together
into his personal history, yeah.
Yeah, like you put together that she is his world, like she's like the most important thing to him. But like every time you come across like a place where her name would be mentioned, like it's either like smudged or like, completely blank or like there's something wrong with your vision. You don't know, like maybe you're actually farsighted, but only for this word in particular. It's weird.
Oh, it's like scribbly to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Static for sure. Um, and eventually the conclusion that you come to is that there was an accident and something happened to her. And you eventually also come to the conclusion that the girl that was sweet on Sissy, that was left behind, this is her.
Ooh. This is heavy shit for a bank heist.
Okay. Trisannas. Trisanna.
Yes,
Miss
that's me.
Tris.
Hello.
Are you just hanging out next to the vault to like stand guard, or
I think I should get bored a little bit and try and fiddle with it a little bit more. Put in some random numbers or favorite numbers. 25,
mhm.
25, 13, 13,
Okay.
1, 3, 3, 7.
Roll me another d20. God.
These are the dice that rolled really well for me last night when I was killing my party. It's a natural 20.
Well then.
Thank you, Rachel. Take a
Um
picture of that.
let's let me paint you a picture.
Okay. Was it 1, 3,
Um
3, 7?
let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
We see Rakel tearing herself away from where the spirits and the aspects of this world have been imprisoned, um, away from this world's history, away from the name of someone very special. As she tears down a hallway and tries to reunite with her party, with her posse. Um, we see Ruth holding a little journal bound up with a leather strap, and snapped shut with a little golden heart. Um, Something that has been worn down over the years, the soft leather beginning to fray at the edges, something that clearly has it is clearly an object of sentiment to someone. We see Kid poring over multiple documents. Time after time written in here, there should be an answer, but for some reason it is gone. We see Kid's thumb sort of slide over a number next to one of these blurred names, and we see this same number somehow on a whim being entered into the vault by Trisannas. And there's a click as the vault opens.
What? Like it's hard? Tris goes, oh. Starts to open the vault.
Yeah. I think that this is loud enough that it can be heard throughout the entire building.
Mm-hmm.
Kid like snaps out of what he's doing and he's going to pocket these documents before heading out and towards the vault.
Okay. Ruth?
I mean, Ruth's not in the building, right?
all of these buildings are connected.
Okay, so,
So you can hear
like
the echo
every
of
building
the-
can hear this. Can hear this open.
All of the government buildings, yes.
Cool.
So the clock tower is connected to the bank.
I think he will exit the clock tower back onto the roofs, and he is just going to like start setting up shop, like where as far as being able to see.
Up in the sniper nest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he moves. I think he tries to stay for as
Okay.
long as he can.
And Rakel?
So, alarm going off.
No alarm.
Alarm.
Just the conspicuous sound of a vault door being opened. A very large vault door being opened. And I have to say, it was such an auspicious moment for a natural 20 to be rolled on that. I feel like deep down you guys all know that the vault door is opening.
Okay, Raquel will continue going forth, trying to make her way toward that direction. I have no idea where I'm at.
That's fair. It's a bit confusing. I think
Raquel has no way of figuring out how to navigate an office building of any type.
that's totally fair. As this is occurring, we see the vault door slowly opening. I think that's the best time to leave off for this week.
Sounds good. Wings, thank you so much for running this game. This was an absolute blast. I am horrified as to what kind of shenanigans we are going to get up to next week. Wings, where can we find you? What do you do?
You guys can find me at DnDkeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. So yeah, go to DnDkeener.com. For my players, go ahead and grab another action point. Because that prolonged sequence at the end was probably enough to count as an encounter. I've been talking with Tyler and I'm all like, it seems weird that only combat encounters and skill challenges are considered encounters as far as milestones go. I think that role-playing counts too. So yeah, one more action point.
Bienvenido Power Gamers. Hey everybody, it's me, RJ. I think I'm going to use that as my sign-on from now on. I think it's very fun. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life, sometimes stream with my friends. Yeah, and all my other socials are there too. But that's me. DanaeKeener.com.
Привет, gamers! I am LB of LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on most socials, but the Twitches, we are Hack Recklessly. This next time our channel is going to be live is on Thursday for Themeless Thursdays. We have Friday Night Fright Scream streams, and on Sunday we'll be back with our Playthings of the Gods. They just defeated a zombie horde in Waterdeep. It was amazing. It's a great combat. If you guys want to watch it, it's on the YouTubes. It will be on the YouTubes tomorrow. And then I will be live next on Wednesday on Nerd Immersion's channel, where we are running the Lost Minds of Fandelver. I'm playing character Soot, who is just the most optimistic until she uses fire, and then things go wrong for everyone else. DnDkeener.com.
Boy, I'm Cyber. I'm trying to figure out if starting a meeting with Bienvenue power users is enough to get me fired. I stream on Twitch. I am at Cyber1 on Twitch. I'm playing through Dredge right now. We are at the last area, and then we're gonna be doing more fishing and Eldritch Horror. It's a good game. I'm also here. DnDkeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/IndoorAdventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/IndoorAdventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/IndoorAdventures. But that is it for our show. So I'd like to say thank you again to Danae for running this incredible game. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.